Let's watch a little video real quick.
There are over 900 different Pokémon, so obviously some of them are going to be more popular than others. Pikachu is the most well-known Pokémon around the world, but who is the least well-known of them all? Which Pokémon, if you went up to a stranger walking down the street, would leave them saying, "Who is that?" Well, today I'm going to figure out the answer. Let's find out which Pokémon is the least popular of them all. So, first of all, we need to figure out how to answer the question of who is the least popular Pokémon. After all, there are over 900 Pokémon out there, so if I just tried to ask people to rank them all, it would take hours. Even if we just looked at the original 151 Pokémon from Gen 1, that's just too many Pokémon to ask people about. No, I had to figure out a different way to rank all the Pokémon, one that hopefully wouldn't take quite as much time. And so I settled on Google. You see, people around the world are constantly Googling just about everything, including Pokémon. So the Pokémon with the lowest number of Google searches is going to be the least popular Pokémon, or rather the least well-known, which is pretty close. However, finding out which Pokémon has the least Google searches is actually really difficult. Google is a pretty secretive company when it comes to their data, so they don't just hand out information like how many people are searching for Pikachu. No, to get Google to part with their precious search data, you need to part with your precious money. So let me explain. Google makes most of their money from people running ads on their website. So if you sign up for Google Ads and actually buy some ads and put them on Google, then Google will finally tell you how many times a certain word has been searched for. They don't give out exact numbers, but it's pretty close. So I actually paid for and set up some ads on Google just to answer this totally useless question. And so today, I would like to present my findings to you. And just a warning, if you're a big Gen 5 fan, then prepare for some bad news.
Oh boy.
Anyway, let's count down who are the top 10 least popular.
Let's see, Gen 5. Who is not popular in Gen 5? I'm gonna look up Gen 5 list. I feel like we might see Carablast. Maybe Elgem and Beheeyem. Yeah, let's see what
Pokemon
there is
in the world. In 10th place is Vanillish. Vanillish is an Ice-type Pokemon from Gen 5, so that means this Pokemon first appeared in Pokemon Black and White. As you can see, Vanillish is this big old ice cream cone, and interestingly, Vanillish is the only one from its evolutionary line in the top 10. Both Vanillite and Vanillux are quite a bit more popular. For context, about 10,000 people search for Vanillish every month, which sounds like a lot, except 4 million people search for Pikachu in that same amount of time. One of my Twitter followers described this Pokemon as literally just a sentient food, while someone else said, kinda goofy, I like him. Next, in 9th place is Duosion. Duosion is a psychic-type Pokemon, and another one from Gen 5. One Twitter user described Duosion as squishy and weird. And yeah, I think that just
I should have guessed that the middle evolutions were going to get less love. That makes sense.
about sums up Duosion to a T. I'm not really sure what he is, but sadly he is the 9th least popular Pokemon. Right, in 8th place is Whirlipede, who is a bug and poison type Pokemon, also from Gen 5. I'm beginning to spot a pattern here. Whirlipede is some kind of insecty creature with 2 spiky horns on its head. Interestingly, my Twitter followers actually quite liked Whirlipede, with one person writing, "Super cool concept, love the design." Next up, in 7th place is Tranquil, a normal and flying type
Another
Pokemon
Gen 5.
from, you guessed it, Gen
It is a middle evolution.
Now, Tranquil is just a bird. Like, this is just a drawing of a bird. One person on Twitter described it as, "It's a bird. Cool bird, but still just a bird." Someone else wrote, "That sure is a bird." And another person said, "Just a bird, really." People seem to agree about one thing. Tranquil is definitely, absolutely a bird. Okay, so in 6th, 5th, and 4th place are Simipour, Simisea, and Simisage, respectively. I decided to bunch up all 3 because they're all elemental monkeys.
I feel like these are 3 that people really love to hate. So I'm kind of surprised that they're so unpopular.
Somehow, these 3 Gen 5 Pokemon ended up being next to each other on my unpopularity list. Now, if you don't know, each of these 3 Pokemon are based on a different part of the classic Three Wise Monkeys story. Simisear is Hear No Evil, Simipour is See No Evil, and Simisage is probably Speak No Evil. An interesting idea for a group of Pokemon, for sure, but these 3 don't seem to have enjoyed a great deal of popularity with players. One Twitter user just responded with the words, "No, heart." Next up, in 3rd place, is our very first non-Gen 5 Pokemon.
Hey,
That
let's
Pokemon
go.
Is Carkol.
Okay, that's fair.
Carkol is one of the new
Carkol's
Pokemon
weird.
on this list, having been introduced in Gen 8. Carkol is a rock and fire type Pokemon who looks a little like a minecart overflowing with coal. I actually quite like Carkol's design, but clearly this Pokemon hasn't won
It's
over
unique.
everybody's heart. One Twitter user described Carkol as kinda awesome, but on the other hand, somebody else wrote, "I don't like the way it's looking at me." Right, in 2nd place is Trumbeak. Trumbeak is a normal and flying type Pokemon who frankly doesn't look super different, in my opinion, from Tranquil, who appeared earlier in the list. They're both just birds. People on Twitter seemed to largely agree with me, with one person writing, "Just a bird, but more personality than the other one." And that's true, there were quite a few ardent defenders of Trumbeak, but sadly,
I do like
that didn't
Trumbeak
keep
better.
this Pokemon out of the number 2 spot. And finally, in last place, the least searched for Pokemon out of over 900 of them is Watchog. Now, Watchog is a frankly very ugly and creepy looking normal type Pokemon from Gen 5.
That surprises me.
I've mostly refrained from giving my personal opinions on the Pokemon up to this point, but to be honest, I hate Watchog. I don't like his
I really don't
eyes
like
at
him
all.
either.
They give me the creeps.
I think his
and the
design's
stripes
pretty
on his
bad.
body are, I think, supposed to look like a high-vis jacket, but they just make Watchog look even stranger. Digging a little into the data, Watchog is searched for on Google roughly 8,100 times each month, which is about 0.2% of the monthly searches that Pikachu gets. That is tiny. So yes, this Pokemon is very unpopular. In fact, when I sent a picture of Watchog to my friends, they were confused and unhappy.
Literally disgraceful. If I had one wish right now, it would be that I didn't have eyes. The color scheme is misery. The facial expression is disgusting. I'm very upset right now.
The facial expression's not so bad, and I like the chubby cheeks, but I hate the eyes, the red eyes and the yellow ring. Horrible.
True.
I think it looks like a reversed bee with some angry red eyes.
Thanks for that description, Anna. As for what people on Twitter think, there's almost unanimous negativity there, too. Makes me feel many emotions, mostly negative, one person writes. Another person says, Watchog is very ugly and I need it to go away immediately. I never want to see its horrifying eyes ever again. So now we have the answer to the question.
I can
who
agree with
is
those
the
people.
least popular Pokemon, or at least who is the least Googled. But why are so many unpopular Pokemon from Gen 5? Out of the bottom 10 Pokemon, 8 of them were from Gen 5. Why? Well, the 5th generation of Pokemon games, Pokemon Black and White, had quite a unique development process. Game Freak used a much bigger team of developers than they'd used in previous games, about 70 people, and they had large ambitions for the new games. To make sure that Black and White stood out from the previous Pokemon generation on the same console, Diamond and Pearl, Game Freak decided to start fresh with their Pokemon species. Up until you defeat the final boss, you won't see a single returning Pokemon in the game. You'll only see brand new ones. For Game Freak, this meant creating a record-breaking 156 brand new Pokemon for the game.
Black and White's
And
some of my
not all of
favorite.
these looked exactly as players expected. According to Pokemon character designer Ken Sugimori, the game's director, quote, asked us to play up the coolness of the Pokemon in Black and White. So we're using a lot more sharp and angular lines rather than more rounded ones. Some fans also think that Game Freak took a quantity over quality approach to these new Pokemon, and with so many new Pokemon, I do understand why they'd think that, but a huge amount of work went into designing Gen 5's Pokemon. The team designed around 3 times more Pokemon than actually appeared in the game. The bad ones were cut, and only the best Pokemon made it in. Of course, the data does show that Gen 5's Pokemon tend to be a little less popular than Pokemon from other generations, but Gen 5 has plenty of brilliant Pokemon too. All 3
True.
starters, for instance, I think are super cute.
The starters are cute. What they turn into, not so
But
much.
one Pokemon that is not super cute is Watchog, and I can't say that I'm sad to see it at the bottom of the popularity list. Sorry, Watchog, but please leave. I don't want to look at you any longer. Hey, thanks for what?
That was good. Back to some Mario, though.
Let's go.